This video is about how to self-host n8n and save yourself $20 a month. I'm on a personal mission to get rid of all of my SaaS subscriptions, besides my AI subscriptions, obviously. And so one of the first to go for me is n8n because it's free and open source. It costs, I think I pay 24 bucks a month right now. So this is going to get me down to $5 a month by self-hosting on Hetzner Cloud. n8n has helpfully provided this guide for us, so I'm going to walk you through this guide so you can understand how you too can self-host your own n8n instance. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Hetzner Cloud Console and create a new project. If you don't have an account on Hetzner, go ahead and create one. I already have an account and I'm actually already running n8n. So let's create a new project. We're going to call this Test Colleen n8n. Going back to our instructions, it tells us to create server. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information, and this is sometimes the part where people get a little bit scared, but do not fear. There is nothing to worry about. A server, remember, that's just a slice of someone else's computer. So we're going to go into our new project and we're going to go create server. Now, I am in the West Coast, so I'm going to pick this as my region. You want to do shared resources, regular performance, and we are going to pick CPX 11, which is $4.99 a month. This is the part you need to be careful. For the image, you need to make sure you go to apps and then you pick Docker CE because all of this is going to run in Docker. We're going to keep these defaults. You are going to need to have an SSH key because that is a more secure way to log into your machine. If you don't know what an SSH key is or you don't have one, just ask the AI of your choice how to set one up. You're going to set that one up on your machine. After you've added your SSH key, let's keep on going down. This is all fine. Let's give it a different name. Test Colleen n8n and delete later. Oh, why is that $10? I want it to be $5. Oh, that's interesting. It aggressively changed my choice. We're going to do the $5 model. Create and buy now. All right, so that server is going to provision for us. One of the things I do want to say is, although this is a public IP, you don't want to just be sharing this. I am going to delete this entire server after this video. All right, let's go back to the documentation and we are on the login to your server section. Okay, once your server has been provisioned, you're going to log into that server. So we're going to log in and you do that by going SSH root at and you say yes here, yes. And now we are in the computer, the other computer. So let's go back to our instructions and see what we need to do now. At this point, it is following these instructions on installing Docker, cloning the repository, stuff like that. So this is hopefully relatively seamless. We are going to copy and we are going to paste what it tells us to. So we're going to start with this. All right, and then after that, we are going to clone this repository. So all you need to do is copy and paste the git clone command here, and then go into that directory. All right, so now we're in the correct directory. Let's continue walking through the instructions. We're going to create a Docker volume and also for the n8n data. So right now I'm just copying and pasting this into my remote machine. Then we need to set up the DNS. This can be a little bit tricky and this is where some people get a little scared, but do not worry. We are going to go into our DNS provider and give it our IP address so it knows what to point our domain to. So I will show you how to do that. So what you do is you go into your DNS provider. I'm using Namecheap and I have SaaSmarketingadvisor.com. So these are the default records. I'm going to get rid of them and I'm going to create a new A record on a subdomain. So it's going to be n8n and then the IP address is the IP address of your Hetzner box. So it's this right here. And then you put that in here. Let's make this as fast as humanly possible. Check. So it's going to be n8n.saasmarketingadvisor.com. That is how we are going to access our self-hosted n8n. Now, once you do that, we're going to continue working through the instructions here. We're going to do this. And now we need to do something a little bit tricky, which is configure our environment variable. So Vim, I like Vim. You can use whatever you want. If you don't know Vim, you probably don't want to use Vim. So just use Nano. So this is a top level directory. This is the domain. So this is where it's SaaS marketing advisor.com. And the subdomain is n8n. Let's just leave the time zone blank and then my email address. Okay, so once you do that, we're going to keep on going down the instructions. And next, we don't need to go into the Docker Compose unless we're having issues. We do need to configure caddy though. So let's do vim caddy config caddy file. And what you need to do here is change the domain. So this is n8n.saasmarketingadvisor.com. Oops, right quit. Perfect. And then we get to start it and see if it worked. This is always the exciting part. Okay, I actually got an error, and I believe the error is because I didn't specify the correct path in my env. So let's look at that. Yeah, this has to be the full path. So /root /n8n. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. And let's try this again. I'm not getting any errors. So now we're actually going to go to the correct URL and see what happens. So I am actually going to n8n.saasmarketingadvisor.com. And there it is, our self-hosted n8n instance. So now you can set up an owner account and you can start building out your workflows. This is how I am saving $20 a month by moving off of hosted n8n to my own box. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. If you have any questions or you get stuck, feel free to drop me a comment.